Blast from the grassroots, connecting people and sharing ideas.
Hi, this is Arlene. We are back again with our Blast from the Grassroots.
Yes, this is Gowri, and today, of course, we have our weekly partners, the Econites Film Festival. And we have a few guests here in the studio who are going to be talking about the eco-vendors and eco-businesses that will be involved in KLEFF this year.
When it comes to environmental friendly products, we usually, when it comes to buying stuff, we wouldn't go on think about environmental friendly products. But today our guests here will talk about eco businesses, and also they'll be sharing why is it so important to choose more eco-friendly stuff.
And of course we have Susan from Peaceful Remedies. Hi Susan.
Hi there.
And we have Michelle from Kinda Soaps.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So perhaps a bit of a background introduction about your organization and yourself.
Sure. Can I go first?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Well, Peaceful Remedies, we are actually a stress detox and wellness boutique. And what we do is we specialize in providing complete stress solutions using natural and therapeutic ingredients. And we help people go through a series of detox, restoration, and also rejuvenation for their body, mind, and emotions. That's really in a nutshell what we do.
And you?
And at Kinda Soaps, my specialty is to formulate all natural, very basic skincare things. So our forte is, first of all, soap. And coming very close after that is moisturizing oils and treatment serums. Our main focus is to help people with problematic or sensitive skin. And we only use essential oils, plant oils, and they are all... some people refer to them as therapeutic grade, but what it really means is that none of these essential oils or plant oils have been modified in any way to standardize them or to homogenize them. So we actually pay close attention to, say, the origins of the plant materials and things.
When it comes to green products, is there a lot of entrepreneurs or business people venture into green enterprises?
I think there's definitely more these days compared to, say, 5 or even 10 years ago. It was really hard to find any organization looking at green products. But today, I think in the Klang Valley, there's already much more. But I think we could do with more organizations going green, if not all of us, yeah?
Definitely agree. But one problem in my little realm, my little area of handmade skincare items, yes, there are more businesses coming aboard, but unfortunately the level of education, even amongst the business owners themselves, needs a lot of work. And after going through my own personal courses online just to study, right, then you suddenly realize that actually there's so much more that we don't know yet.
Yes.
When it comes to awareness level, what do they not know about when it comes to the eco-friendly sort of products?
What do they not know?
Yeah.
I think it's the knock-on effects on whatever they do. Like, for example, you don't... I think some people might be aware already. So those exfoliating body washes, let's just say, they said might be all natural and things, but they don't realize that the beads maybe that they have that's suspended in the gel actually get washed away. They're made of plastic also, so they don't break down. And then you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm using that natural thing, it feels nice on the skin, but once it washes into the waterways or your sewage system, it doesn't get treated, it doesn't get removed, and in the end it ends up in our the rivers, the streams, the ocean again.
So what made you guys start or even to get involved in this thing in the first place? Was it your love for environment, or did you just want to do something about it?
For me, it was actually quite organic. When I was 19, I was diagnosed with cancer.
What kind of cancer is that?
Thyroid cancer. And as a result, I have to have my entire thyroid removed.
Okay.
And I had to be on medication for the rest of my life. The medication was actually quite strong because one is to replace the hormone that I don't produce anymore. Two, it's also to suppress if there is any cancer cells that comes along again. Yeah. The good news, of course, I really thank all my doctors, is that there's no recurrence of cancer. It's been over 20 years now. But unfortunately, after taking it for more than 10 years, the side effects of the medication did take a toll on my body. So I ended up having things like asthmatic symptoms. I couldn't breathe. I had skin issues and all that. So that was when I really started learning about, going natural, going green. It's not just what we eat. We have to be careful about the water we drink as well. And so today we do educate our clients on that, and also the products that we use. A lot of times we pick up, say, a product without even understanding what it is. And so we teach our clients, look at the ingredients. Don't just assume what they say on the label is what it is, I understand what you're saying on the essential oils part, because I'm also an aromatherapist myself, that sometimes they just put on the label lavender, for example.
Right.
But when you look at the ingredients, it's really not there at all.
It's just chemicals.
It's just a smell, a chemical, yeah. So when you put chemicals, even if you use it to wipe your floors, it seeps in under your feet. It gets back into your system. And that's how sometimes we say, I'm so careful with what I eat, but why do I still get sick? This is what it is, yeah? So it's really a complete solution we need
Especially
to be
now,
looking
cancer is perhaps the number one.
It is, yes.
Killer in this country.
It is, yeah, So that's why our focus in the areas of stress is not just physical, but there's also the psychological aspect as well, which actually plays 80% of the toxins that we get in our body.
So what about you? Is there any particular reason, or is it similar? Or perhaps you watched this one of the scene in Fight Clubs. You're like, I'm going to make soap
all the time.
Because when I look at soap, I'm like, damn, this must be one of the scenes in Fight Club. Like, I'm going.
Yeah, I know. I get that all the time. And actually, soap is made from any kind of fat. Unfortunately, that applies to humans as well. But let's not go into that. I started this because my daughter had eczema at birth, shortly after birth. So I was looking into what really is all natural skincare. I tried to buy it first. But when I started buying the products off the shelf, I began to question, what are these ingredients in there? What are they for? Half of the things were to take care of the shelf life and the appearance of the product. Yeah, so that didn't sit very well with me. So I thought, okay, there must be a better way to do this. So now, 6 years on, we are more looking to, yes, we have all natural goods, but at the same time, we are also looking into ways that we can minimize our impact on the environment as the result of using our things. So even our packaging now, yes, we use plant oils. That's for the product. But for the packaging, we're actually trying to do away with plastic altogether. So to wrap our soap, we have our usual paper cigar band label. You can see it on my business card. That's the same kind of material we use for our labels, the paper labels. But to protect the soap, I'm trying to actually use beeswax coated cloth. So cotton muslin, which has been melted down with beeswax, or rather, beeswax has been melted into the cloth. So it gives it a waterproof layer, and it's just enough to protect the thing inside. And if you chuck it into a garbage dump, it in theory should actually degrade to whatever it is into cellulose, plant cellulose, and beeswax will be left in the ground. That's it.
So packaging is definitely one of the key component when it comes to environmental friendly products.
Yes, I agree for sure. And I feel very bad because sometimes when I receive my ingredients, they are packed in plastic, they are shrink wrapped, and what am I going to do with all those bottles? So we try and recycle them as far as possible. We do get services to come in to take them away.
But plastic is definitely one of those inventions that you can say this is the pinnacle of the modern life.
Yes.
Prior to plastic is all natural. I bet when it comes to packaging.
Yes.
And people were more in the habit of reusing their things, fixing things when they're broken. Right now we are trying to work in a society where it's so easy to just pick something up and chuck it. So trying to change that mindset is also part of what we do. So things like when people come to our shop, we try and ask them, do you have your own bag? And if we do provide you one, it's a paper bag as far as possible.
So is this your first time, two of you, at KLEFF?
Yes, for me. Yeah. For Peaceful Remedies, this is
Okay.
our first time.
Same here, yeah.
And what do you aim to achieve, or the message that you want to get across with your product?
Well, I think this year itself for Peaceful Remedies, we are really trying to increase more awareness to the audience or to people about how important it is to take a more proactive role in maintaining their health and well-being using natural means. So that's what we also intend to do at the exhibition itself. It's really to reach out to people and tell them, please don't wait until your body breaks down. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like we all like to visit the hospital, but if we have to, make sure it's not because you didn't take care of yourself. Yeah. And there are natural ways to do it. Yeah.
As a consumer, it is perhaps some of the consumer might want to go from a normal consumer to a more to a consumer that would buy eco-friendly products, but when it comes to the supply, it is not there. Like, that's not many places or hypermarkets that actually sell this kind of products. So
And people have the perception that it's much more expensive as well.
it's a very high class or upper middle class sort of symbol status that, I can afford to be eco-friendly because I have the money and the area to buy the product, to access the product.
Sure. So you're asking, like, what can be done about that? Is it? Well, I think a lot of it is, again, awareness. People need to know that, one, that there are these products available. Unfortunately, when you're talking about the cost factor, yes, it does take more to produce it, because let's just say in aromatherapy, you want to look for organic essential oils and things. The price of those things are already triple. And you're looking at, these are best practices when it comes to sustainable farming, and then the application of pest control and things like that. And it takes a lot more effort, let's just say, compared to just spraying the whole field with pesticide and things. And the yield is lower.
Yes.
So the cost factor, yes, is higher. And also for hypermarkets to try and bring in brands which are, say, more eco-friendly, they don't have preservatives, let's just say. So the shelf life of these things are even shorter. So and hypermarkets work on the concept of big amounts.
Economic of scale.
Yes, that's right. And unfortunately, it's just a character. It's just one of the characteristics of natural goods, that the shelf life is shorter and things like that.
So for green consumer like myself and probably Gowri as well, how can we access those products and not being overwhelmed by the price, and also in terms of where to access it?
I think the internet's our friend. We're really lucky to.
So a lot of green eco-friendly products entrepreneurs have ventured into online marketing.
I would say yeah, because most of these entrepreneurs are actually also people who are very internet savvy. I would think so. I mean, these days most people who set up shop would definitely go into the internet. We do our sourcing as well through the internet.
Same. Also, internet. Just googling for all natural goods, you can actually turn up quite a few sites for that. But again, another important thing is to link the young minds who are internet savvy with the people who have the experience.
Yes.
Let's just say the originators, the suppliers for these products, or they may have the experience necessary to actually educate us. But we can't find them easy, so we've got to dig even deeper from that. So I think trade expos and things will help.
We have another speaker here, also probably a an eco vendor as well. Perhaps you might want to introduce yourself.
Hello, hi. I'm Farhah from Warung Buah. Warung Buah basically is an initiative. It's an initiative that starts in our office just by having an awareness to actually eat healthily. And basically from there we started with having, how can we make it a little bit more efficient? That by then it's saying or just working out with food in jar. So because of that we started with Balang Sarapan. It's actually a breakfast in jar. And eventually it becomes an all-day breakfast. So
what's in the content of the breakfast?
Well, we are from the creative industry. It can be anything from just yogurt to oats to mixture of flakes and even dried fruits. So Of course, we have now, it became a signature. Basically, it's based on the whole information and also output from the team in whichever flavor that they like. But usually they'll have their own top-ups, and it comes with milk and things like that. Yeah.
And how would the people know what are the benefits that they're getting from that? How do you go about spreading that information?
First and foremost, because we started, it's an office activity, and it is actually already a conscious decision to go against the junk food.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So anything that we start with, of course, to the extreme, it's organic. Then information like that or sharing those kind of info between ourselves is one of the most valuable things. Other than that, everything either fresh and raw is something that we appreciate, and we go from there. Yeah. So it started last year when we joined KLEFF, and that's our first time making it a debut publicly.
So this is your second year.
Yeah. Yeah. So that being that, having a second year in KLEFF, we're gonna make sure that we'll come up with something much more creative. Yeah.
So how can people access your products outside of the KLEFF?
KLEFF.
Yeah, KLEFF. I can't think of another festival.
Yeah, maybe there's a need for another festival for that. To be frank, when it started solely as a movement internally with our office colleague, it becomes like, hey, let's have a weekly breakfast and things like that. And then everyone gets excited because you get to kind of like do a lab test on what kind of mixture that you want in that jar. So, but of course, there are questions about how are you going to make sure that this is going on and things like that. We actually do participate on bazaar, but we're quite limited because we have a full-time job. But it's still in our heart to make sure that it spreads. So as for now, we do it seasonally. So say like last 2 months, Raya, we do a Raya package, and we made it to Jaya Grocer and also Big. So we're doing it that kind of scale, and then it's going from time to time, basically. Yeah.
What about the two of you, Susan?
Well, for our what we do, you can actually access our website. Yeah, it's Peaceful Remedies, peaceful-remedies.com.
Okay.
And because the products can actually be delivered to where they are, so we deal worldwide actually. So it's not an issue for anybody who likes to access us. Just look us up in the internet.
And for ours, we are also serving international clientele. You can find us at kindersoaps.com. We have local deliveries by courier and then also registered parcel overseas. And I do love chatting and emailing customers, so inquiries are always welcome. All our contact details are available there as well. We do have a shop in Damansara Jaya, but please don't come if you are not comfortable with dust and construction work, because right now Atria Shopping Centre is being renovated, is being rebuilt. So it's sand everywhere every day. But otherwise, you can always find us online, and you can look us up on Facebook as well.
And I also want to know, for people who are listening, or what if when they are intrigued by the whole idea of going green and all, but what is the leverage? Maybe why is it so important for them to switch to more green, eco-friendly products?
Well, in terms of looking at being green, you do need to have this, long-term thing rather than short-term solution. Yeah. in Peaceful Remedies, what we tell our clients, or what we bring awareness to our clients, is first of all, it's really for the self. There is really a need to start minimizing the amount of toxins you are putting in yourself, and that includes psychological stress as well. And what does that equate to? I think a lot of women would understand this when I say it minimizes premature aging.
Okay.
And we're not just looking at the beauty aspect. We're talking about aging within you as well, yeah? So really, if you want to continue to be healthy, and you want to be able to enjoy what this new world has to offer, because this new world has a lot of great opportunities, yeah? We don't want to be, in our 30s, or even I've seen people in their 20s, they're aching here, they can't do this, they have this kind of sickness and that. That's not really going to be very much fun.
It's
Yeah.
probably also that mindset, like you said, where people think, oh, I'm only 20 years old, it's fine, I don't have to be healthy right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want my McDonald's and KFC.
I think
Yeah.
once in a while, okay lah.
Yes,
but
yeah.
The general lifestyle should be that of mindfulness.
Yes,
and-
moderation would be what I say. It's not about not totally doing it. But, are you doing it purely for what it is? Or are you doing it, on the psychological side, we always say, are you doing it to run away from your emotions? And if you are, sort that one out first. Because then you'll be able to enjoy things much better,
Correct.
Yeah,
Because
so...
even like with my parents, because I don't like to take a lot of sugar, so I try to cut down on sugar. They're like, hey, you're 20, like why are you cutting down on sugar? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just don't like it sweet. But they, in a way, parents also, encourage that mentality
Yes,
in young
yes,
people.
yeah.
The awareness level is
The
still
awareness
not that
level,
up yet.
yes, yeah.
If you have one advice to impart to our listeners on how to lead a more a more eco life, a more greener life, what would it be?
Maybe
You
Michelle.
just- I think you think about the future generations that are coming ahead. I have 4 kids. They are only 7 and under. And I'm thinking, okay, I just read this bit of news that by the year 2050, there's this Japanese company that's promising the world a space elevator. That is within our lifetime. And between now and then, what is the world going to be like if we continue with our mass consumerism type of behavior? The mentality that I don't have to think about tomorrow. Let me just enjoy myself today, and everything that I can purchase now, everything is disposable. So that kind of way of thinking, I think, is very dangerous, because then you start forgetting that whatever you do has an impact on someone else, on something else, on time, the climate, whatever it is, and it also has an impact on yourself
Yes, yeah.
as well. So starting to be more mindful of the consequences of your actions is a very good step towards having an equal, more, just living a more green lifestyle. Even things like if you take away your food, let's just say, just for the convenience of it, try and bring your own tiffin carrier. Try and bring your own utensils. Don't just tell the proprietor, I don't need another polystyrene box. I can bring my own thing. I'll help you wash up after that. It's a nice feeling. And when you do that, you're being proactive about your impact on the environment. And there's a very simple step you can take. And from there, if you already start with something small, that kind of action, I think it carries on to other things as well, as long as you are mindful about it. Yeah. It's very easy to just say, oh, okay, this is Monday already, back to the usual grind, then you go back to your old habits and things. But just starting off with a simple change of mindset, and then also choosing actively to change your behavior can make a big difference, I think.
And what about Farhah? What do you aim to achieve with your Warung Buah this year?
I'd like to echo the same sentiment. Basically, the keyword is proactive. You don't need to look out. I guess that's the thing. We need to look inside and actually apply it individually, and then you spread it to the whole unit, and then you get to, help the rest of the other units. So I think we started like that, and it's quite infectious based on personal experience. And like this, I end up with like-minded people in this room itself. So I suppose it's like that, and it's not like we're going there. The conscious level of Malaysian in general is there. It's just that either how cool things are brought to be in exposure, or they might not be saying it, they're already doing it. So I guess that's we are at our own level in Warung Buah. We're going to do that. You don't need to be an extreme green person and things like that. It's really doing it in your own style, basically. Yeah, get comfortable in that, and that's how we're going to basically propagate this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in Peaceful Remedies, our take is more, again, our strength is in the psychological side. So I do agree, in terms of trying to change it on the outside and all that. However, what we advocate is that once you learn how to be more peaceful on the inside, which means to be able to know how to handle and to manage your psychological aspect, which is the mental, the emotional aspect, you will get to a level whereby whatever you do, whatever you think will be in a peaceful state and will allow us to have an open mind, and that will lead us to take responsible actions, whatever that may be. So try not to focus so much on what am I going to do on the outside, but sort out all the stresses on the inside. Because once you're happy, you will know what to do to make other people or to make the environment happier. Yeah.
With that, thank you very much. And thank you everyone for sharing your views. We hope that all Malaysians could be more eco-friendly, and maybe all of us as well. I will definitely buy your products and get inspired by the Fight Club to make my own. So
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.